followers, fans, foes, enemies. This is the GATORTOT podcast
Yeah, we
inaugural
decided that
episode.
that's what we're calling it. Do we have an official name?
So that's the official name. We're clearly putting this on as we go
Yeah.
because the women's NCAA Division One championships are next week, and we could not afford to actually spend the time putting ourselves together or even showing our faces. This is all you're gonna get.
Maybe we'll do like a grand reveal at some point, but for today, it's just like this is too crucial information to look at us. Like you don't want to look into our souls.
The TLDR is that we're spending today breaking down every single individual race in the women's NCAAs and ranking them from least exciting to most exciting. And we've decided that it's our job to sort through the mess for you and to present our opinions to you as if they are facts. That being said, we're here to break down the women's NCAA Division One championships because they literally feature the world's best swimmers. You've got Olympic medalist Kate Douglas, Olympic medalist Alex Walsh, Olympic champion Maggie McNeil, multiple age group record breaker, world junior champion,
National
and
champion.
national champion Gretchen Walsh,
And we have
Olymp-
Olympians Tori Huss, Claire Curzon. The list just goes on and on, to be quite frank.
a jam-packed 3 to 4 days. 13 of them, not 13 of them in total. Each individual can only compete in three, but that's still a lot to break down. And that's what we're going to do today. And NCAA swimming has always been exciting. But if you haven't gotten into it, there is literally not a better time to start.
You have to get in now because if you don't get in now, I'm gonna
If you
cry.
don't get it now, I'm going to
Why?
cry. I'm going to come to your house. I'm going to flood your mentions on whatever social media you use, even if it's physical snail mail.
Anyways, what
But
Maggie Dark is trying to say is watch, please pay attention, watch these NCAAs because it is not every day that all of these records are broken anytime they get in the water because that seems to be what happens with Kate Douglas and Gretchen Walsh.
just to make sense of what we're doing today, we're just going to make a little tier list from exciting to more exciting to most exciting to
phenomenal.
I mean, speechless races. And we're going to argue and we're going to sort them and we're going to introduce all the good people. And then hopefully we're going to point a water gun at your head. And we're going to watch these races together March 15th, 16th to March 18th.
So excited. This should be such an exciting week. And also, then we have men's NC. So we'll also be touching on that in a later episode. That'll be super exciting to just talk about the love of my life, Josh Leando, for an hour.
So we're going to start very soon. And with some movie magic, we're going to start right now. So here we have our tier list, that we're ranking from chill races to study to give up your firstborn child with some normal categories in between. And what we're going to do is that we're just going to go through most of the races in order down the psych sheet, starting from the women's 500 freestyle. And there should also be timestamps based on day 1, day 2, day 3. Day 1 being the first day of individual events. So we're not going to do relays for now, but we'll touch on it at the end of this episode. So here we are with the 500 free.
Okay, this is an interesting one. Because, I mean, like, we talked about the Stige sisters beforehand and how they both swam at SECs, I guess. It kind of just seems like they're so close together that it could just be whoever walks in and is having a great day type of meet.
Yeah, it's like, so here we have Erica Sullivan, Tokyo silver medalist. We have Rachel and Kristen Stahey, who just won 2 at SECs with a ton of momentum. Olivia Bray, who was in a 4:37 and is seeded 4th after swimming this race like 5 times. Emma Wyant, who was the runner-up from last year, and she seeded about 3 seconds lower than her personal best. Denise Ertan, who's a freshman from Turkey, And also, I think the only qualifier from Georgia Tech where Nick Fink also trains. And they're all pretty close together, which is something that's quite unusual given how used we are to seeing Ledecky dominate this race. Even though she isn't here, I don't think that Erica's going to run away with it. I
Yeah.
think that there is a chance that she pops off, but I'm not sure where she is with her training or just with her health, because I know she had some shoulder injuries last year. Um, that I think that even though everyone's seated at relatively slow times. Well, they're not record breaking times, but I think it could be an incredibly exciting race. And especially at NC's, when it's the first individual event, I think that, you've got people who are hyped up.
They're
And
all going in rested, I guess, is the biggest thing there.
yeah, I'm so biased for Erica Sullivan. So I would put this at Wake Up at 3 a.m. There are just so many other good races.
Yeah.
But I think that it's close enough that the race itself could be really exciting, and you've got a whole NCAA title on the line, and especially if one of these people, the Gustave sisters or Olivia, really goes the best time by a mile.
Because that's the thing, like I just feel like you can never underestimate Olivia Bray. Like she kind of seems to just have these breakout swims after swimming things just like a handful of times, and I don't see why this shouldn't be an exception.
Yeah, and
So
especially
yeah,
in the team race with Texas. But
yeah,
like we
exactly.
said,
I agree. I think that's
okay.
the spot.
So the next one we
Drum
have.
roll. Oh no, no, this is too early. No.
All right. Douglas Catherine, Walsh Alexandra, Husk Victoria,
Did Margaret Nelson dirty like
Margaret Nelson.
that? What am I supposed to do? This is horrible. I just don't like fuck. Like we've been talking about this for days. Like where you even begin? Like statistically, it's like, oh, this is Kate Douglas's race to lose. But when you just look into the depth and the capabilities of both of these, it's just not that straightforward. And we know Alex Walsh has great swims. She's the record holder in this event. So it's just more a matter of will Alex Walsh be able to channel that record setting similar splits that she had, maintaining her breaststroke to a higher degree as Kate Douglas and splitting closer to Kate on fly and free, I guess. You were the one I was like, oh, it's Kate Douglas's race, and you were like, do you know
Yeah,
who
I would. Yeah, I was thinking about this, right? Because the first time we ranked this, I put this at only take a bathroom break at public beach. By the way, we're wanting to keep these categories relatively even. I know we would put all of them up here if we could, but then that wouldn't mean anything. A few days ago, I was like, well, the logical, most likely outcome. You could say that, oh, Kate Douglas has been really, going best times in all of her main events at ACCs, and actually in the last or nearing them in the last 2 months, where Alex Walsh has been swimming off events and doing really well, but she hasn't really touched her main events so far this year.
Yeah.
And I think that people would be like, okay, so Kate Douglas is the American record holder in the 100-yard fly.
Yeah.
She's the U.S. Open record holder in 100-yard fly. She was the U.S. Open record holder and is second by 0.01 of a second in free. So she's really good at flying free. And then now she's getting better at back.
Yeah, the sprint Olympics, I don't even remember what her split was exactly, but she was splitting better than Alex, and I think it was a pretty solid run at it, because that's it's weird that she's the 200 American record holder, NCAA record holder, US Open record holder, but she's never really
split pretty even in fly and back, but Alex is always a little bit slower and free, even in long course, and Kate is a little bit slower in breast short course, but they're both really fast in the breast long course. I was like, oh, I think we can see what's going to happen. They're going to be kind of even. It's going to be like in short course worlds, right? What happened. I think that's also why people are saying that this race favors Kate. I hear is their last showdown.
Okay.
This was from Short Course Worlds, and it was from December.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, this is kind of annoying because they don't show splits by 50 and they show splits by 25. But is we can sort of see they were sort
Oh,
of
look at
Kate
Kate's
was
dress there. Holy. Like the last there right there, yeah. Huh.
yeah, like Kate was like at least half a second like she scared the world record. But even when it comes down to last 50, I know they've both become better swimmers since then, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that there is a reasonable chance. I think that you just cannot know what to expect from her. You know, it's like sort of like last year when she first swam the 400 IM. People were like, "Oh, is she gonna go? Is she gonna break 4 minutes? Is she gonna go?" And then people were like, "Yes," and some were no. And then she went 3:57.
It's just we don't like that's the whole thing, and she hasn't been swimming it this year. It's just like such a we don't even
And
know what's
and
happening.
like not to mention just the whole narrative around this, right? They're the two fastest performers of all time, the two Olympians in this event in Tokyo. And a fun thing is that they're such different swimmers. It's like Kate's lineup, class would be like the 50 fly, 50, it's 100 fly, 100 free, 50 free. That was her lineup at one point. She did really well. And then Alex's lineup, she's like 2 IM, 2 fly, 2 breast, 2 free, 4 IM swimmer. And
That's
like
why I love it.
this
They're so
is the
good.
event where they meet. And this is also like the last time Kate Douglas is ever going to swim a
I don't know.
200 IM.
But the real question is, where does this fall? Because there is a right answer.
Why don't you control my screen and put it there then?
It's got to be give up your firstborn child.
Okay, that's so fair. That's so fair.
We just don't know. Like we can sit here and speculate for as long as we
That's
ever
I think
want.
that's the thing, right? Because like, okay, to be fair, I think since we've been speculating this for about
A
6 minutes, and also 6 minutes, and yesterday,
This,
53.
oh, damn! Are these all on day one?
These are all day one.
Holy shit! These are back to back. How am I gonna recover from that? Okay,
Oh, it's okay. You have to be fine.
I have the fucking B final.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It was like last year. I was like, I didn't actually watch it because I didn't have ESPN, and I was like refreshing Twitter, and I was like, why is this so long? And I was like, oh come on, they're still on the B file.
Of course. Oh god. Okay, this. Where are we? How are we feeling about this?
Okay,
Because
American record holder, a US Open record holder, broke it 3 weeks ago.
yeah.
And then like Maggie with her revenge arc, two Louisville studs.
Oh yeah. I mean, like,
But I
and
don't think they're catching these two though. I think this is a really third, fourth. Actually, I think the rest of the eight final could be a really good field, like sorry, good race. And I'm gonna feel really bad if like Gabrielle Briere goes like 21-0 and I was like, okay.
that's so true because that like is possible, right?
My job is if Gabrielle Briere beats like if she goes 21-1 or if anyone goes 21-1 that isn't these two, I will be clapping, cheering, standing ovation.
It is
Because
not.
like I went for a swim today and like I'm not even gonna make public how terribly slow this was. I was
What were
like
you?
I okay, um safe to say that Kate Douglas or like actually Gretchen Walsh or even actually this entire field, their their 100 free is faster than my 50 free with fins.
You're really speedy this year. Holy Hannah. Okay. But the question is, can they make that a triple? If they go a 19, will it be triple? You're 100 free. You're 50 free.
Okay, I think that the 50 free obviously is the same people who are doing the 100 free.
Yeah.
And I think that the 100 free is just a more exciting race than the 50 free.
Why do you think that? Just because it's longer?
I think there's just more space and time to like let tactics go, but it's still really fast, right? It's like I think with the men, the 50 free is more exciting. Just it's like 17.6. It's just, that's Caleb Dressel's record. It's such a
Yeah,
such
it's
a
just
big thing. Like to mention, the 100 free also has Tori Husk. So I think sort
yeah.
of like for that reason,
Big question is, how do you think the rivalries in both the 50 and the 100 are going to play out with Maggie and Gretchen?
because like Maggie comes home like a steam train. Like she comes home so fast. And
It's wild.
like, okay, she can even demonstrate that in like a short course 50, but it really is like a you blink and then it's over. And that's not what makes it exciting to me, unless the only thing though, I know we were talking about this last time, is whether they break a record. And I think that definitely there's like Simone's record, which I actually think is pretty attainable by both of
Oh,
them. And
I
they're
don't
not that far off.
I would think more so in the 50. Like, I think that it's going to take a 2083 sub to win the 50. Like, I really do think. I think even if
Okay,
Megan's contending, Gretchen's just going to fucking whip one
we're
out.
gonna put this here.
What? This is going to be an American record.
Well, or a bunch of these races.
But the thing is, the 100 free, like, I just don't see either of them coming within like a tenth of Simone's record. Like, they're
Exactly.
good.
So I think that they will, and because people think that they won't, it'll be more exciting.
Okay, so you're betting on both Gretchen and Maggie swimming a, what is it, 46.5?
No, I think that both Gretchen and Maggie will be 45 mid. Also, like not just one, but like two people even going 45 high is an incredibly exciting race.
Yeah, if
But
they
you
both,
know, that's not even this discussion that we're on.
okay, 50 free, I think is good there.
I think that if like I'm just we can change this later. Next, 400 IM.
Okay,
Ella Nelson,
this is a lot.
ACC winner. Emma Wyatt, Olympic silver medalist. Felicia Pasadena, she was the bronze medalist long course at nationals. Alex Walsh, last year's champion. I think those are going to mean. I don't really see any other names I recognize down here.
I do hope that Ella Nelson is able to pull off like a phenomenal swim. Like we did see her go sub 4 minutes, which was pretty good. It's just more a matter of like, will Emma Wyatt be contending? Will UVA get the points there, or will that be like an Emma Wyatt? Hey, I've been waiting for this one. Let's go, because we know she's the silver medalist in long course. Like,
I'm extremely biased. I think Alex is not going to win. But Ellen, it's going to be hard for Ellen Nelson to drop 2 more seconds.
but how do
I'm
we
a,
know she's going to go 357? That's the question.
how do I know that Alex Walsh is it? Because Alex Walsh is a big meat swimmer. Has she ever flopped in a single race?
Yeah, I mean, she didn't win the Olympics, so I think you're right. Like, I don't think there's a chance.
I mean, like I think that
But I do think Ella Nelson could really go second. Like, I think that
I think that one two will be so exciting because they've been teammates since they were 13.
if Ella Nelson also, wasn't tapered, like, who knows? She could go 358. I don't see why not.
That's so true.
I really hope it comes true because I feel like they both just deserve that 1-2 finish.
I know.
Like, wrap it up.
Like I would put this here.
Okay, yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's
Yeah. Moving on.
oh god. Like they're just hitting us hard. Like we're gonna be left with the 1650 and nothing else to talk about. Okay. Goodness gracious. I don't even know. I think you need to carry this way. I'm speechless.
Oh, I think that it's just very easy to think that this is normal. So for the record, Claire Cruzan, who's seated fifth, broke the American record last year. In like 99% of other events, that would make you a favorite to win. To be fair, she was 49.6 in Pac-12, but she got DQ'd.
Oh, okay.
So this is like it's slightly misleading. Okay, not to mention Douglas Catherine with it, Maggie McNeil, Tori Husk, Emma Stiglitz, but also like Gabby Albiero at 50.0. And you're like, I think that because this race has been hyped up since September, it's like with the 2IM, like we kind of got used to it. And I'm like, oh yeah, of course the 100 fly. But I'm like, no, the 100 fly.
It's insane. We have two women sub 49.
Like you could go 48.9. Like it is, and then be third. And I'm like, what?
it seems likely that someone could go like even a 48-8 and would be in third place. You know, like it just doesn't seem like anything's off the table at this point, especially with Kate and Maggie both competing. Like, is it going to take a record break to win this race?
I would put the odds at like 85% that it takes a record. And I know that seems low, but people were saying that last year. And I feel like you don't want to get so invested in the time. Just at the end of the day, you still have like five of the most incredible butterflies in the world. It's likely going to take a record. But if it's like, I could see a situation where it's like 48, 80, 48, 87, 48, 88, 48, 90. And like, don't tell me you would not like give up your firstborn child to watch that. Okay, there we go. 200 free.
Hmm.
So we have our top seed is actually funnily enough one of the weaker events in the NCAA. And I'm sure everyone here is an amazing swimmer in their own right.
Well, like, look at this. We have Kelly Pash, we have Taylor Ruck.
But like Summer McIntosh and Bella Sims won 40 at juniors 3 months ago.
That is like genuinely insane. Like, there's nothing more insane than that. But this is just like this field is so stacked. It's just so underappreciated because
That's yeah.
lucky
In a normal year, this would have been like because of that. I think that Taylor Ruck and Amy Canny and Kelly Pash all have a lot of momentum. I've actually also never heard or like seen Brooklyn Douthright from, near that like top five position last year. I think she was in the B final, but it would be really a breakout swim if she got to stay at like on the podium.
exactly. And like I do just think like it's possible that Taylor Ruck, I guess, retitles, but it does seem like Kelly Pash has had a lot of momentum this season,
Yeah.
as well as Amy Canny, to be quite frank, like coming into UVA.
Like I think it could actually be pretty close.
I think that's gonna be a close one.
3 a.m.
I think so.
All right, next. 100 breast. We have the defending champion, Olympic finalist, Olympic champion, world silver medalist. I think these are going to be like the four main players, but like Anna's best is like a 56.8, which actually would have won finals, but she swam it in freelance.
I do really see like the potential here for Ellen to,
But I
like
think they're all going to go really fast. I know people have been talking a lot about Lydia winning, and I definitely think she's a racer, she's a clutch swimmer,
oh yeah.
but none of these other people should be underestimated.
I guess that's the thing. Like you just don't really know, and I feel like this field, to be honest, is like just too close to even like be able to place it. Like this will be a really exciting race because of how like closely seated all these swimmers are and how different races they all collectively swim.
Yeah, bathroom break. Also, last year, I am slightly salty that I was slightly salty that Alexis Winger didn't win, but
Me too.
I'm sure she's because like she got out touched in like the last 2 yards. Next, oh god, next,
Uh-oh.
100 back,
Okay.
Gretchen Walsh,
Well, this is gonna be an interesting one. Like this one just could be insane.
Catherine Burkhoff, and then like Isabel Staden, and also because like Olivia Bray's been doing really well this season. Riley Tiltman I think she's been having a great season in her own right. It's just that she's overshadowed by these other UVA swimmers, or like it's gonna be a dogfight just to qualify for the A final. And I know that so far we've been talking about like who's gonna win, but I think in some races it's also so important to look at the overall team race and who's scoring points for their school, right? So last year Reagan Smith was the top seed. Has just had all of her records broken in the last 2 years. And she's 21.
It is kind of unfortunate. But
But Reagan Smith was the top seed last year. And the US Open record that she set 2 years ago was a 49.16. Last year, she swam a 49.23 to lead off the Pac 12 relay. And that was like the third fastest swim of all time, right? And like, imagine like the placement of my jaw when I saw that Gretchen Walsh went 49.00 and what came second? And Burkhoff with 48.7.
Yeah, so it's just like don't underestimate any of these because also Claire Curzon just went the fastest time in 4 years in the 200 back, and she is an
And
Olympian.
that's the best time for her as well, you know.
Yeah,
And
and
like
that,
also just to mention again, speaking of like this is a national age group record, and she's reset it a couple times, but the last person to hold the national age group record was Reagan Smith back when it was an American and US Open record. It's like so fast how it's gone. I'm putting bathroom break.
yeah, I think that's bathroom break.
Yeah.
It's and I feel like the top three, especially there, like it really could just be a bloodbath to the finish. Like,
It's just really interesting. I actually don't really know what like Claire seems to have a pretty evened out like race strategy. I know she in fly she takes it out hard, but not as hard as Tori does.
yeah.
Um, and so last year we know that Gretchen takes it out fast. Catherine likes to close. Claire's somewhere in between. So that's going to be really fun. The mile.
Oh, the mile. Go Paige McKenna. I think this is
I
our
think this is Paige. We're in Paige McKenna Nation. Erica Sullivan's best time is a 15:23. I don't know how close she's going to get to that, but like I will be watching it. I will be chill races to study too. I also think like not because any of these are bad swimmers. It's just that it's like it's chill, you know. I want to see like I'm gonna be, you know, I think especially with the longer races, you can sort of I've been trying to do this with the shorter races as well. You can sort of predict what time they'll end up at the end. I know one of my mutuals on Twitter likes to do that with like Ledecky's 1500s. I think that Paige has the hand. I think it could be like a race between these two, but it's also shown because if one of them's going to win by a couple of seconds, we'll know pretty easily. I'm pretty psyched that like there are a couple of people within, uh, you know, 2-3 seconds of each other, and definitely like especially given how people drop or add time from their seeds. Um, that's gonna be
that
fun.
one last watch.
Okay,
We're back. I think this is gonna be one to watch just for the sheer how fast is Claire Curzon gonna go, you know? Um, Especially with like if she wasn't tapered and I feel like there's just so
I
much
do
like
think that Stanford tapers through
you do.
Pac-12s.
You think that?
Because like Ledecky set an NCAA record and set best times of the season best times at Pac-12s. I know that
Yeah,
that's
with
also
it.
because she's Ledecky, but I think that Claire has time to drop. But
I
I
do.
don't think like that like she showed up the way Leon did when he broke the record at a dual meet in the 4 a.m.
Yeah, I mean, but like, I feel like Léon Marchand is kind of on like more of a Kate Douglas status level, and whereas Claire Curzon's still very much coming into her own as a freshman, I guess, has a lot of time to drop because she hasn't really made like the full drop of just the freshman drop. I could see her going, I don't know, a 146 mid maybe.
I think that sometimes like with these races, I think that she'll be like a 147 low. It would be really interesting if she's like right on the record because there are like three people that's all super close together, right? Because Reagan was 147.1.
Yeah.
Kathleen Baker, no, Beta Nelson was 147.2. Kathleen Baker was 147.3. And now Curzon's 147.4. She also, I mean, I really do hope this changes, but I don't have like 146 expectations just because, you know, last year and the year before, she wasn't training at Stanford, but she tends to go really fast in season and then add time in championship meets. Even if she just holds on to her seed and like drops a little bit, then that's going to be really phenomenal. That's why I'm putting up in Wake Up at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next thing we have is 100 free. It's the same, it's a, we were talking about this.
Yeah, it's very similar to the 50, just with the addition of Tori Husk, which I feel like is very a powerful
And
addition.
Catherine Burkhoff. Wait, no, Catherine's also swimming the 50 free,
Yeah,
but she's quicker in the 100
like
free.
Taylor Rupp's also in this, but
Yeah.
I just think it's very possible that Tori Husk could go a 46, like low mid type of range in this.
And also, Taylor Ruck has split 45 on a relay.
This is where we have the raging amounts of Olympians, champions. Like it's just so stacked that I mean, to an extent, you can kind of gauge like the top two, maybe three, maybe the dark horse. Who knows? Maybe it'll be Tori Husk.
I don't
Like,
know. They're pretty close to each other, right? Because like
yeah,
Gabrielle
exactly. That's
Biero,
the thing.
they're
Like,
only a tenth apart, and then they're only like there's obviously there's the Maggie Gretchen race, but like more so than the 50, especially like I said, because the 100 is actually it's that little bit longer that you have time to like be excited, be worried, like
yeah,
root for
exactly.
people that like they're all within like 17 100ths of each other, and I definitely think that a bunch of these people have time to drop.
I think Taylor Ruck especially like has time to drop off that 47.44. I could see her going 46 mid as well.
She's been 46 as well.
Yeah, but just like
I mean, like 4 years ago, but it's definitely not impossible, and I believe in Taylor Ruck's resilience.
happen.
Where I'm gonna go, bathroom break,
Yeah, bathroom break.
bathroom
Sure.
break. Our next event, 200 breast.
Okay, this I don't even know if we need to touch on this. This is just
This is actually just unreal. Like, what do you?
there's just not even like that much to say because yeah, sure, there'll be the other little race, but it's really just gonna be a race of Kate Douglas and the clock. Like, how much time can she drop from her obviously record-setting time that she will set? That is quite evident. And it's just like
I'm like so worried because what if she doesn't drop time and she just sets an NCAA record?
I just think that Kate Douglas is unstoppable and we have to go into it with that mindset because uh-oh, where are you gonna put it?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Where do you want to put it? Because I'm like, do I put the 200 breast over all of these races? And I would say yes.
I would say yes, because of the talent, because of the technique. But I guess the thing is, like,
But it's
it just
also not an interesting race, right? Because
right. That's the thing. It's just Kate Douglas.
she's, you know what? Like, what if my hot take is
I
Chillery?
was thinking that. I was thinking that. Like, because that's
Because
the
like,
thing. We know what's gonna happen. It's just a matter of how much, and we're not gonna be sitting there looking at Kate Douglas racing the clock because that would be weird. She's in the water. The clock's on the wall.
that's our hot take.
We're not
That's our
allowed to
hot
do it
take.
on our throats.
Um, we just have the 200 fly. And there's actually 3 Texas Longhorns: Charlotte Hook, Lindsay Looney, couple of Abigails, and then way seated like 30th.
Shut
We have
up.
we have our defending champion Alex.
We have our defending champion. Oh goodness.
I think it's like one of those races where like I genuinely don't know what, because Alex won 150.79 last year.
Yeah.
I think that any of these 3 people could also go 150.7.
I think that is very true, but I do think that the biggest thing we have to account for is we haven't seen Alex swim this, so it's just like
Is she dropping from a 150.7?
yeah, I think yes. I think she's gonna go a one.
Okay, but like I actually don't know how her fly has been looking, right? Because like what has she swam this year? She swam a lot of 100 breasts. But like you don't know, right? I think that she could go 150.7 and then someone here goes like 150.6 or 150, even like a 150.2 or 3. Think that Kelly Pash and I swear that they were all like 152 or 153 last year
Like I think
at NCAAs.
yeah, Kelly Pash and Emma Stickland have kind of just been, kind of cranking out lately. So I just think, especially the momentum that it appears Kelly Pash has been having this season, it's just like, can she go that 150? Because I think if she's, I don't know, I think you could be right. If she's a 156, Alex Walsh is a 150.7. It's just like, that seems quite possible. It seems like Alex Walsh couldn't come out on top. This is why you give up your firstborn. It has to be. It's really the fight or flight of Alex Walsh.
And also, like the amount of points that Texas is going to get from this. If Texas actually goes 1-2-3, like I don't think they will, but if they even go like 1-2-4,
that seems
yeah,
likely.
there we go.
That's going to be an exciting.
Here's our tier list.
Wow.
You know,
The 200 breasts at the very bottom with the smile. You the
I know the amount of hate we're gonna get from this.
just for the 2 breast
But you
location.
know, we're putting the tournament.
Hey, but at least we know that we have actual fans if we get a hate comment. That means we get it. I
Exactly.
feel like
So
this is very structured, and I think it does seem feasible, right? And like, I guess we're not really going to touch particularly much on relays, but it is just important to note that part of the reason we're not touching on it is because every single relay except for the 800 seems to be a walk away. And
I actually think that every relay has a very clear favorite. Now, obviously,
right,
the
like,
Stanford, I'm sorry,
like
Virginia broke the all-time record in 4 relays when they weren't fully rested. I
yeah,
think it's a little bit, the schedule is a little bit more compressed at NCs. So um,
it's
they
just
might
it's
not
a
do
lot
the
bigger.
same. You know, they're definitely, not definitely, but they're probably not going to get second. And with the 800 free relay, Stanford is seated first even without Taylor Rook. And if they're serious about points, I mean, why would you not put Taylor Rook in if that's the only relay you have a chance at winning?
But it's also like, I guess that whole thing, like there was an article about how, oh well, Virginia could win if they put Alex Walsh in, but I just don't think that they will, and it just doesn't seem like
It's
feasible.
also such a gamble as well.
Yeah,
And like, I know that Virginia, well, any reasonable coach would be like, the thing we care most about is points.
it
So
seems like such a stupid career decision for Alex Walsh, especially because it's like she doesn't need that extra race. So why are they going to try and beat Stanford when they like already don't really have that large of a shot? It just seems stupid, and I don't think she'll do it just for her own sanity. um, but yeah,
but here's our those are comments on the relays. These are comments on individual race.
yeah. Anyways, I feel like there's so much to unpack, and I feel like as the week progresses, we'll be able to like dive into how we're actually feeling about everything that went down, and I think that could definitely result in another episode, question mark, question mark. So I don't know, as
Hopefully a little bit shorter, but
hopefully I don't know, and we also have men's NCs, I guess. So the GATORTOT podcast is going to be ragingly busy over the next couple of weeks. So thank you for tuning into today's episode. We hope to see you guys all here next week.
and
And
if you want to be a guest on the podcast,
if you're Summer Macintosh, please email our professional email.
which is
Yeah, just comment for that. We'll get right back.
yeah, if just yeah. Um if you want to be a guest on our podcast, reach out to GATORTOT official without GATORTOT official.
We'll make an email. But yeah, we're
Reach
looking
out
forward
to an email address near you that will be in the description or the show notes or wherever you get your podcast.
somewhere. It'll be on the screen. It'll show up where we're gonna put it. But we are hoping that we can have some guests in the future and talk about especially like diversity and female representation in the sport. And that's really why we're here.
We're here to expand swimming beyond the demographic of middle-aged podcast bros.
That's a joke. That's a joke.
Exactly. And like we love all you podcast bros, but there's just more to life, you know. There's been a lot of talk about how to make swimming a spectator sport instead of just a participant one. And I know that even while a lot of the people in this sport are former swimmers, that doesn't have to be the case, you know, and definitely not in a professional or a competitive sense.
I think
So
it's so easy to get lost in the like all the numbers, but like a lot of people, if we want to make swimming a spectator sport, aren't sitting there knowing like why you're going, oh yeah, 45 5 in a women's 100 free. This is why that's so impressive, because they're just sitting there going, that's a number. Whereas
and
we
to be fair, we
really
set a lot of numbers, but
yeah.
hopefully the hype is not around the number, but like the really cool swimmers that we're here. And like what we're here to do is to just broadcast our outlet for talking about really cool swimmers, since that's what we basically do full time for free anyways.
Yeah, we just want to make it hype. We don't want it to be about the numbers. It's about the hype. Thank you guys so much for tuning in this week. Comment down below if you have any video suggestions for us. And